So I wanted to show you the newest part. So this is the one that you guys in the film industry might recognize the most. So it's a part to allow me to put my camera plate onto here, as well as a tube for follow focus type stuff. So it also attaches to this part, which will be attached to the rest of the machine underneath with screw holes. So let me just show you what that looks like once I remove the camera and everything like that. So here's the actual part. So the camera plate slides in, and then you can screw in this second part, which goes in here, and that essentially clamps down on the camera plate with the two screws. And there's hex bolts in here that will hold that securely. And it also has this part, which lines up perfectly with the grooves underneath the camera plate. So you can see here, so that it can't slide out even if it's not unscrewed. So that's perfect. And then of course the tube goes through here, and it's clamped on with these 3 screws here. So they're essentially hex screws down here, and then you clamp it down, and it's going to be even more secure than most of the filmmaking stuff that's already on there. Even though it's so thin right here, it's so long that it's still very structurally sound. And then hex bolts go in here, and then it's screwed in through the bottom through this plate. So this plate is essentially what actually attaches to the rest of the machine, but it goes on like this, and if I can line up all the holes, you can see it just clamps on there. One thing I would also like to point out is, so I have this triangle here, and that's at the exact center of this piece, and this is also going to be mounted in the center of this and attached to the rest of the machine. And the point of this marker is so that I can not only align the markings on the plate itself that I can measure, like I can actually read with the measurements, but it also allows me to put the nodal point of the lens where the light focuses, essentially where it's essentially where the aperture blades are on most cameras. And what that allows me to do is to essentially remove parallax from my camera moves. And that allows me to do more miniature shots and stuff like that, where if there was going to be parallax that would be wrong if you scaled the things, it will essentially remove the parallax. And that's great for that kind of stuff where you're essentially removing any sense of distance that you would have if it were real, which is great. So that's a awesome little marker that I have on there that's very useful for that.